So today's video is going to be something that I've kind of wanted to do for a little while, but I haven't had necessarily the uh, correct tools to do it with. So one is going to be obviously this new Action 4 camera. The Action 5 is out, but the Action 4 is a super great camera, and I just didn't have the extra $200 for the 5, so I got the Action 4. All this is, high quality HD video. The second thing being enough variety of pistols to be able to test this in. So for today's topic is kind of compensated versus non-compensated, meaning, let me grab my 320 here. So my P320, which just came out of inventory, I guess you could say, or carry rotation. So I did remove the optic from this one. It is now currently on my Springfield Echelon, but it has been removed from a gun that I would carry just due to the controversy surrounding the 320. Unfortunately, at this time, I just don't feel comfortable until they have all the bugs worked out. So again, a non-compensated pistol versus, that's why we always check, versus a comp cut pistol. So you can see the barrel cut in the, or the comp cut in the barrel there, as well as the matching slide cut. You can kind of see that from a side profile. They're better. And then kind of your more traditional screw-on type compensator with a threaded barrel. You can kind of see this one here is on a PSA Dagger. Again, this is the Springfield Echelon comp. So just trying to, kind of do a little bit of a comparison as far as that goes. So that'll be our 3 test beds for this test. And my brother's here, so we're going to come back to this here in just a minute. So again, going to be doing our testing of our 3 different guns. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to be just shooting and kind of getting a gauge on how flat the guns shoot, non-comp, screw-on comp, actual internal, I guess you could say, compensated gun. So those are kind of going to be our 3 test beds. So let's see. I guess up first, using the same ammo for all the testing. It's just 115 grain, full metal jacket, nothing fancy. So yeah, that's going to be wide open here. I don't want that. There we go. Sorry, I was playing with the settings on my ears. So again, 115 grain, full metal jacket. This is going to be the SIG P320, full size, so a 4.7-inch barrel, non-compensated, non-threaded. The only reason I'm using the light is that way it's kind of an accurate representation. They're all running a light, basically the same light, within an ounce or 2 of each other. So this can be 10 rounds, and this is just going to be seeing how flat each one shoots. And I'm just kind of getting an idea. Go ahead and load up our 10 rounds. So let's see. Okay. Now, let's shoot our PSA Dagger. So this is a 4.5-inch barrel. Well, 4.7-inch barrel, I guess, with the threads. And our screw-on compensator, this one is a Strike Industries This has got 2 lateral ports as well as a horizontal port. Again, same 115 grain. This, I think, is a different brand, but essentially the same thing. Go ahead and shoot our 10 rounds with it. I always get hung up with Glocks. I don't know. It's just where I want to put my hand. The slide lock just never. I always end up actuating it, and it just doesn't work out well. All right. Now, again, 10 rounds of our 115 full metal jacket. This is the Springfield Echelon with the comp cut. Rocking the Steiner MPS. Okay. All right, so for this test, I'm just going to shoot from the holster and draw and shoot. I got 5 rounds in each magazine. And again, just to see kind of getting on target and getting a round off. Again, I don't necessarily have a target set up. You can kind of see I'm just shooting into the dirt pile, but at least I'm going to be shooting at the same spot on the dirt pile. So again, shooting the 115 grain at SIG 320. Again, no optic, obviously. So for this one, I'm going to run on a timer just for funsies. So let's see. Here we go. I am not used to iron sights anymore. That was a little bit of a struggle. Whew. Getting spoiled with these optics. And all I'm looking at is just the muzzle flip. I'm just trying to see kind of where it's at when I actually go back and review the camera. $181 on that one. $201. I feel like I should be able to draw and shoot and hit on a man-sized target in under 2 seconds. Just how I feel. I don't know if that's necessarily an accurate representation or not. Just kind of how I feel about it. So, got the PSA dagger with the strike 3-port comp 115. Oop. I do need to switch over my light from all right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. $211. $172. $175. $177. So 170s, upper 170s seem to be where I'm at with this particular gun. $175, and that's it. That's 5 rounds. So again, where the bead of my hand interacts with the slide lock, I can't seem to get it down. I'm always trying to just get it. I want to ride as high up on the gun as I possibly can, and that's what ends up jacking the slide lock. All right, so and we'll go with our 5 rounds, our Springfield Echelon. All right, here we go. $175. $191. I lost the dot on that one. I did have not a good draw on that one. I was a little left. $168. $178. Got hung up in the holster. Not gonna lie. Got hung up. $150. So with that one, that last shot, that was nice. It was exactly where I pointed my dot. It went exactly where I wanted it, which was on target. And on that particular one. So 150 flat. Let's see. Come up 150 flat. So it took me 1.5 seconds to go from a ready position onto the gun, release the lock, get on target, get the dot where I wanted, click. And the round to go off and the counter to count it. So about where I want to be. Between, I mean, obviously, ideally under a second would be fantastic. I'm not that good. 1.5 is a pretty good number for me. So what other testing can we do? I guess that's really kind of it as far as that. I mean, I could just burn it down and we could just see. I mean, we could do that testing next. So for our third and final test, I'm just going to burn them down. Coincidentally, these are all 17 round guns, or 17 round frames. So my P320 here. This is actually a Magpul P320 magazine. It's their AMAG 17 SG9. So, and what's on the other side? You can see Magpul Industries. Again, this is a fully loaded magazine. So 17 rounds. I'm not doing +1 in the chamber. I'm just going to do 17 rounds. But I'm just going to burn them all down. And we'll just kind of see which gun shoots the flattest. I'm just going to draw and shoot as fast as possible. And we will be on the timer for that. So it'll give us a good, a good draw and fire time. Let's see. Here we go. It's going to be the 17 rounds of 115 grain full metal jacket out of the SIG P320 full size. Now, I did have a hang up. I don't know where it went. Had a failure to fire. I really don't like having those out here, mostly because I'll find it with my mower, and that's always a great time. Now I'll find it here in a minute. But, so that was 17 rounds, 6.73 seconds. So I will, let me just swap these lights over here. So you can see it. There's no question. 6.73 seconds on that one. Full 17. You can see that on the deal there. You'll see the 17 rounds of 115 in the PSA Dagger with the strike comp. 673. I was with a malfunction, so a little bit bad on that one, but hey, it is what it is. Things can happen. Okay, 527. 527. Not bad. 5.27. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. All right. Now, my personal favorite. That one actually shot better. So the compensators definitely work. I will say that. Comp pistols are a thing. 17 rounds, 115 full metal jacket in the Echelon comp. With the MPS and light. So 673 on that one. Again, did have a hang up. So I could come off like a half a second there. Give a half a second handicap for that, but still, what is that? 573, so 523 or 623, excuse me, 623 versus 527. So about a second faster with the PSA comp gun. Doesn't know if it means anything or not, but let's see. 517. And I had a hang up in the holster. I did. I had a hang up in the holster. Drawing again. I will say, you know, Surefire. Damn, it's hot. I forgot. I just stuck my thumb right on the breech. Good Lord. Safariland does say that this gun, now this Olight here is the PL Turbo Valkyrie. This is supposed to represent a Surefire X300. It does work with this particular X300 holster. However, I will say it's not perfect in that if I try to come out quick, sometimes I get kind of hung. Like I can't quite, I don't know, like I can't quite, I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't quite disconnect the auto locking mechanism. So it's not 100% perfect, but it's still very good. It does work very well. So, in conclusion, I would say kind of how I thought it would be from the get-go. Let me actually pop my ears out real quick. Those things are a little tight. I am thinking about changing the inserts on those. For anyone wondering, these are Ultrex Ear Pro, and they are made by, I guess they are made by Ultrex. Okay. So if you want to get you a set, County Armory can get you a set. They're actually pretty cost affordable. They're under $100, I think. They are USB-C chargeable. They have different sizes for your. Oops, that's just the little lanyard that goes with them. They've got different size foam inserts as well as different size ear inserts. The part that actually goes into the top of your ear here. So yeah, you can definitely get these at County Armory. The Ultrex Ear Pro. I highly recommend them. I like them a lot better than running the old headphones, which are fine, but it's just easier to have the earbud style for me anyway. But yeah, everything that I have shot today, ammo, compensators, guns, all that stuff is available at County Armory. I'm going to upload this video to our new our added site. I should say not new site, but added site. I don't know if it's going to be on our YouTube channel, just because I'm shouting out products that are for sale, even though we are a brick and mortar store. Just the way it is. But if you're curious about anything, we do carry a large selection of Olights, from the PL Turbos to all the different pistol light as well as rifle lights. The Springfield Echelon Comp, we can get that gun. I don't have one in stock today, which today is the 3rd of August, 4th of August. So I don't have one today, but I can get you one in a day or two, not a problem. The Steiner MPS is about the only thing I think I can get you one. I can get that. I'm sorry. We do sell Steiners. So the MPS, it's a great red dot. It's a good alternative, in my opinion, to the Aimpoint Acro. It does use the Aimpoint footprint. So if you're already running an Acro, if you've got a slide cut for an Acro, if you're running other things, if you've got plates for an Acro, this is actually an RMR, a Strike Industries RMR to Acro plate. So basically I put this plate on my Echelon and then put the MPS on there. I haven't changed the sights on here yet. I don't know that I will, because I think even with suppressor height sights, you're going to be too tall with this particular dot. But so I'll probably just kind of negate those. But yeah, the Echelon is a great gun, a great alternative to the P320. I'm going to do a whole video on that at some point, probably for the podcast. I believe, don't hold me to this, I will make sure it gets put in the video, a link for the site. I believe it's Conceal Texas is the website name, concealtexas.com. And that's where all of our stuff is going to be hosted, as far as raw and uncut stuff. When I say raw and uncut, I don't mean unedited videos. I mean where you're probably going to hear me cuss, because I do have a bad habit of that. I try to keep that to a minimum, especially when I'm doing videos, but it does happen from time to time. But also, more importantly, where you're going to see products for sale, things that we can test and shoot and actually say, hey, you can buy this at County Armory, either on our website or at our store. So if you have any questions about that, or if you've got a product you'd like to see or a topic you'd like to discuss, especially for the podcast, obviously keep in mind it is geared towards, the name of it is Conceal Texas. So as of right now, it's really going to focus on, pistols, conceal carry, maybe clothing, equipment like belts. Belts will be something that we would definitely cover. Holsters, lights, red dots versus iron sights, capacity versus concealability. That's definitely a topic of, discussion. I have that same discussion topic with myself. Having a gun that I can still wear with clothes tucked in. What kind of a holster do I need to be able to have, be dressed nicely? Am I forced to wear an outside the waistband holster? Different holsters, locking holsters, versus retention holsters. There's a myriad of topic discussions that we're going to go over when it comes to that. I'm sure that the 320 controversy will come up as part of that, mostly because I will fully admit that I retired my 320 for my Echelon. That's what happened. That is basically the biggest reason I own this gun, is because of I know I just broke the manual gun safety. I know. The biggest reason I switched to this gun is because of the 320 controversy. There's an issue. We'll get into that in an actual video. We might do some shooting and try to replicate that. It may just simply be a discussionary video. I'm not sure yet, but we will sit down and discuss all that. So I'm going to try to have as many different people from as many different walks of life, meaning, new conceal carriers, or new gun carriers, new gun owners, however you want to look at it. And maybe those are even two different people: new gun owners versus, new conceal carriers. Just because you own a gun doesn't mean you carry a gun. Yes, we're in Texas, but not everyone carries a gun. My wife owns guns, and she does not carry. So, yeah. Well, as of time of filming of this, my soon-to-be wife. So maybe I can get her on, especially with her upbringing and where she's from, versus where she's at mindset wise now. People that are not necessarily, gun carriers, concealed carriers, open carriers. What's everyone's opinion? There's a ton of different things we could talk about. So, and I don't want to script it. I don't want to. I just want to have a topic and just basically run with it. And wherever the conversation goes, and that'll just be how the video goes. So stick around for that. Again, I believe it's concealtexas.com for that. That's where the podcast will be hosted. I don't know if we'll be able to link it to YouTube simply because of YouTube's restrictions. We can pretty much do what we want on our website versus, what we're stuck with, with YouTube's guidelines. So stay tuned for that. This video will probably end up there. If I had to guess, I'm going to give it to Aaron, let him work his magic with it. He does on the website as far as the Concealed Texas deal. So we can kind of have a little more free reign. We're not stuck with somebody else's nonsense having to follow their stuff. So stick around for that. If you guys have questions, call the shop, ask for me. DJ, or just the guy you saw on YouTube from County Armory, whatever. They'll know who you're talking about. I'm the only one up there that does it. So you've got the shop phone number, which is 903-259-6600, 903-259-6600. We're open Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 6 and Saturday 9 to 5. So you can always stop in and see us. Shoot me an email, dgrodsky, that's GRODSKI, at countyarmory.com with questions. You can find me on YouTube as well as Instagram, Small Town TX Rifle Builder. Again, that's Instagram and YouTube. So I've got my own YouTube channel that I do. I'm more into long range shooting, but obviously as a gun guy, I try to be as well rounded as possible across as many platforms as I can. Long guns, short guns, semis, bolts, handguns, revolvers, about the only thing I don't really jack with, to be truthful with you. It's just not something. But revolvers versus semi-auto is another topic of discussion that is seriously something we should look into. So I'm going to try to get a revolver guy. I've got a guy. If he'll sit down with me, I'm going to really try to get him nailed down, because he is an older gentleman who grew up in the era of revolvers, where they were the prominent choice, not only for law enforcement, but concealed carriers. So I'm going to try to get Dave in here and do a video with him. He might actually be my first victim. We'll see. We'll see if I can get him nailed down for that. So stick around for that. Definitely something to talk about. Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can get that done. Maybe even this week. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see if we can get that nailed down. Stick around, guys.